Holy shit, I went to E3! Going to E3 has been something I've wanted to do for so long, ever since I was an 11-year-old kid. Literally, for half of my known existence, I have wanted to go to this convention. And I finally did, and it was just absolutely bonkers. There's so many people, there's so much media, there's just so much cool shit, and above all else, there's so many beautiful games to just bask in their glory. Oh. But above everything else, E3 was a hell of a learning experience. When you have something that you've dreamed of for so long and then you finally get to do it, you know, obviously there's going to be things that surprise you, that shock you, that let you down, and all sorts of other craziness that you just never expected. It really makes it an incredible, ridiculous experience. And so here are just a few things that I learned from my very first E3. Ooh, I could make this like an E3 noob survival guide now that it's open to the public again. New title for the video, an E3 noob survival guide. Wait, a noob's guide to E3 survival. Number 1, make sure you have a really good pair of shoes. Really, this should be an obvious one, but you walk a lot. On top of that, LA in the summertime, it's really uncomfortable. Get prepared for like major feet stank and a lot of discomfort if you're wearing heavy shoes or heavy socks. If you're going to E3 for work, you also probably kind of want to consider how your footwear goes with your business outfits. So having a pair of comfortable and stylish shoes at an event like this cannot be understated. For me, my Ultra Boost Uncaged and my 80s Primates Knit sneakers really got the job done for me. They're both super breathable, super light, and the Ultra Boosts in particular were just stupid comfy. And coolest of all, they went really well with all the suits I brought, especially my 80s Prime Minute sneaker. Reppin' the gamer fashion. I'd like to take this as a moment to also publicly declare my allegiance for everything Adidas. Hashtag 3stripeslife. Where is our Legend of Zelda Triforce and 3 Stripes collab that we're all secretly waiting for? Number 2, Mad Men is for real. Some of Mad Men's most hypnotic scenes were these decadent business meetings / parties that Don Draper and co would often throw, attend, or get dragged to. And I gotta tell you, that's all true, sort of, in the world of video games. So many of the booths had really cool looking VIP exclusive areas reserved for business executives, high-profile influencers and streamers, reviewers, the media and press, and just sort of like, you know, people who knew a guy in the company. And like Ubisoft even had a second floor on their balcony. It was the most ridiculous thing ever. There were like tables and I think even a bar there. It was awesome. Depending on how you feel, I guess, about, you know, social interaction in general, lots of people, and then your thoughts and feelings on the video game industry in general, this can either be a really cool part of E3 or a really annoying part. For me, I think it's really cool, even though it is pretty exclusive. I think it shows how far video games have come in a very short amount of time, and it's just cool, I think, you know, it's glamorous. It was really cool just having some coffee, chilling in the Bandai Namco booth, checking out the newest Dragon Ball Z Fighter and then the newest Ace Combat, which are both super badass looking games, and shout out to Bandai Namco for having surprisingly good coffee on tap. Number 3, if you've come for the games and just the games, you're probably better off staying home. Tyler, the creator, fucking hates Coachella. He has a quote about it saying, "People go to Coachella to say they went to Coachella." And it's kind of the same vibe I got from some people walking the convention floor at E3. As a pretty average American video game consumer, I always envisioned E3 was some sort of like magical pilgrimage you take, and with like a huge pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. The pot of gold being a fuck ton of video games. But that isn't necessarily the case for the average American consumer, because E3 is still very much oriented towards media and industry. If you're going to E3 for video game news, seeing what's on the horizon, and just cool new releases, you're probably better off staying at home, watching a live stream in your nice comfy PJs with a big ass bowl of popcorn and your favorite Pikachu plushie by your side. That being said, to counter Tyler's points about Coachella, going to the sake of Coachella for the sake of going to Coachella isn't necessarily a bad thing. If you find something special and magical about going and being at E3, then fuck all reasoning, go to E3. Number 4, If you're there to work, you are always working. It was also my very first time in California, and more specifically in LA. And I gotta tell you, all the stereotypes about that city are absolutely true, and I love it. That is one of the greatest cities I've ever been to. In a place where you're constantly running into famous people or people you recognize from the internet, combined with one of the largest video game conventions in the world, you're bombarded with opportunities to talk with people and make really valuable relationships. It's up to you to take advantage of these opportunities. Sometimes I did a really good job talking about and pitching GamerGENT. I had really good, valuable, educational discussion with people, and I made a lot of really good contacts. Other times, I sort of stood around awkwardly like an ear of corn in a suit, just sort of... Every moment is a learning experience. Every moment is an opportunity to connect with someone, to talk about something of value with someone. And every moment is an opportunity to show someone else why you have value, what you can contribute to them. And who knows where all of that will lead. Number 5, everything can be a party if you make it. Cheers. Similar to how everything is a working opportunity, so is everything an opportunity for play. First off, you're literally surrounded by video games at every single corner. So if you don't mind waiting around in line for a while, or you have an in to cut the line, and if that's the case, lucky you, then you're gonna have a great time regardless. On top of that, you're also in LA, so a barcade or a taco truck is just a balloon's throw away. And finally, all these companies are throwing huge after-party ragers at an assortment of high-class venues, or have really elaborate off-site locations with Ferris wheels and open bars. So if you network well enough, the chances of you meandering into one of these is just as good as Peach getting kidnapped by Bowser. And number 6, the final verdict. E3 does not live up to the hype, and that makes it so much better. Now, I never thought I'd make it to an E3. Not because of lack of money or lack of time. I didn't think I'd ever live long enough to go to an E3. And while that is a story for another time, E3 was not a perfect time for me by any means. At the end of the week, I was totally sick. I was absolutely physically and emotionally drained. I was jet lagged, and I was significantly poorer than I was at the beginning of all of this. And I would go through all of that again in a heartbeat. And I didn't even get to play a single video game while I was there. Simply being in the presence of and seeing and talking with people who are just as passionate and as in love with video games as I am. Being surrounded by that energy for so long was just one of the greatest feelings in the world. I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's absolutely intoxicating, and it was such a great learning experience for me, and it was a great opportunity to sort of pull back the curtain and see the behind the scenes of this magical thing that I consume, you know, video games, see how they work. And E3 on paper is all about the games, but for me, what made this E3 special was the people I met. And I think that's what's always going to make it special for me. And so those are the top things I learned from E3. Overall, it was just the greatest, most tiring, utterly ridiculous, taco-filled week of my life. And I can't wait for next year. What do you think, Chief? I missed you at E3. You weren't there. I'd love to hear your thoughts on E3, some of the ideas you have about E3, and most importantly, what you're super hyped for. I'm super looking forward to, like, Battlefront 2, Anthem, Shadow of the Colossus remix, remix, what? Okay. Mario Odyssey, obviously, and Far Cry 5. Looks hella lit. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more weekly content like this, and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Tumblr, and now Discord. This is Jaime from GamerGENT. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Level up. Oh, Shadow of War. Shadow of War. Really hyped for that. Mainly because Shadow of Mordor was on the Steam summer sale. And that game is so dope.